Hey everybody, your friendly GM Bobby here. You're about to watch the video from the Shadowrun Podcasters Panel that we held at Gen Con 2016. It was a lot of fun. I just wanted to give you a heads up and warning that right at the beginning and then about 15 or 20 minutes in, we lost video. We didn't have any video. There were some technical difficulties. First time we've ever done this live kind of thing and at a panel, and we'll do better next time. But the way I solved the problem was, instead of just having you look at a black screen, I took some photos that were taken at the event by Umberto Lenzi. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. He sent them over to us, graciously gave them to us, and I just cut them in, and sort of like you're looking at a slideshow of panel members talking or something like that, just so there's something for you to look at. But just know, at the beginning, you're missing some video, looking at pictures. The video will cut back in again, and then a little soon after that, it'll cut out again for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then it cuts back in again, and then it's video all the way out for about an hour and 20 minutes after that. So I hope you guys enjoy it. The lighting was really bad there, so video's not like super high quality, but that's not the point. The point is that we had some great conversation, and I just wanted you guys to be able to, who couldn't make it, be able to listen in and see what we had to say and the fun times we had. So I hope you enjoy, and bye-bye.
Oh, I am Lee. I play Scratchy on Dice Crimes. I also do the audio editing for Dice Crimes, so... Woo, audio editors! I had a little bit more. No, but you're more important than...
That's not even true.
I could...
That's the principle of Neo-Anarchy, is that
I could
no
check
one is
two...
more important than anyone else.
I can easily check 2 Patreons in this room. Actually, 3.
So that's what makes you more important than us, because you're a fan.
Hey, money
I'm a
says
fan.
that you have a real job.
It's fair.
That's not nice.
You could buy me. Not my house or anything that I own. You could buy me.
Really?
If you want me to. I'd move in with you.
If
I'm sure I've got
only
the-
knew.
You only knew.
I got the
That's
karma I
what
could
you're
spin in.
into.
Yeah, okay.
Me and you in the room.
Sorry, we were singing "Flight of the Conchords" for a portion of an 18-hour drive to get here. If you guys think we're fun now, you should be locked in a car with us for 2 days. Yeah, OC liked it. He was fine. We probably could. I'll be honest. That we should. I'm gonna steal this microphone.
NC-17, like.
What? I don't. Only if there's video. It's only R if it's audio.
You have all this stuff, man.
All right. Have we got this is everybody?
I'm set up. Are you set up? Was that just pre-show? I thought we were.
No.
Yeah, I thought we
Well,
were going.
We're 24 minutes in, so we should.
we're ready.
We're live on the internet.
Oh,
Is that true?
Say hello to the
Yes.
internet.
Hello, internet.
hello, internet. It's nice to meet you, intertubes.
Hi.
All right. I feel like I kind of already did introductions. So, who's got the? I'm assuming that Bobby has a schedule.
Yeah, I'm the schedule guy.
Dude, so let's pull that out. Let's whip it out,
I'm
Bobby.
not the prepared guy, but
He's the prepared guy. Don't believe that. He's.
I don't know how to answer that.
I'm not. I was like, let's
is
do a
the-
podcast.
Wouldn't
My
this
work
be the
here is
equivalent
done.
of-
Say,
I'm the idea
hey,
guy.
You want to do a Shadowrun Podcasters thing? And we were like, yeah. And then like 2 weeks later, Bob's like, dude, we got to plan this. And I was like, what do you mean? Let's just show up and hang
Yeah.
out with people. And he's like, no. At
Dude.
8:01, this needs to be happening. Of course,
I-
it's 8:24
yeah.
now, so I know that you're
Yeah, yeah.
I've got the sweat.
Yeah.
anxiety.
You need to pull out schedule Gamma Delta, the one where we start 25 minutes late. And to give you an idea of just a cool thing about Gen Con, I feel like telling a story. I ran into this old dude today. I was looking for a place to sit down to eat my gyro. And there's this old guy sitting there, and we start chatting while I'm eating because I'm an animal. And I asked him what he was doing here, and he was like, I'm just grandfathering. And this dude's 12-year-old grandson was here. He has spent 6 hours of the con showing game developers that he reached out to ahead of time and scheduled it in 1.5 hour things because he practiced it to know he needed an hour and a half for his pitch. But this little kid has a board game that he's trying to get made. And he's shown it to, like 4 or 5 different developers. And Granddad's like, I stay here so I can keep an eye on things, but I don't want to do the talking for him. And, it's his thing. And it was awesome. Made my day. That's what Gen Con's for. So, but that kid had a backup shoebox with a second prototype of his board game because, just in case something happened to the first one. And I'm like, that kid's shit is twice as together as mine. At less than a third of my age. I mean, it was all printed up, laminated stuff from.
Are you committed to this? Voice to text. Sorry.
Okay,
If you're committed to it, I'll take it.
All right. So are we good? What are we doing? Do we want to?
Well, I lost the schedule.
That is literally 3 weeks of a few hour conversations.
Carrie, if you're out there, if you have the link, that's where I had it. It was in Skype, and I don't have Skype on this phone for some reason.
It's a trap.
All right, we got this. We got this.
Is that Carrie from the calls? Okay, hi, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie from Skype.
Thanks for saying
How
hi
are
and
you?
Stuff.
Yes, and actually, Carrie is our social media mentor spirit as well. She's given us lots of cool advice
You
on
can
how
turn around
to
and say hi. She
get
would
in
get up,
touch with
but she
people.
hurt herself earlier. So.
Aw. Everybody give her an aw. There you go. 1+1 karma point for everybody. It's official, we said. Yeah.
Hey, so how are you guys doing?
So what I remember is that we were first going to one of the early things was a tarot reading.
He did not give
I'll take this, Opty.
Yeah.
He did not give a fuck where you were going with that. You're like, how you doing, Indy? And he's like, there's no time for that. We're 28 minutes late.
Look, I got this, guys. First up, we had some announcements and then a tarot reading. I know.
Yes.
This is the best. All right. So we were thinking about talking about some of the Shadowrun stuff that kind of just hit, if you guys wanted a little bit. But
Did anybody go to the Shadowrun Authors Symposium thing earlier?
Yeah.
Right.
A repeat customer.
That was classy, and this is going to be the opposite of that.
I feel like classy was a little strong. You guys did actually take us up on the offer of cookies, so
Does
we
Rusty's
you
hair look
better.
like Pidgeotto?
That's what I'm going for. Ask Bull's Twitter. It's on the internet. That's the.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought of that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Tease
Bobby,
a
I won't
bird.
interrupt you anymore. Go ahead.
Did you guys? I put Always Sunny. Shut up. I put Always Sunny in Philadelphia in Shadowrun, in the Elven Blood adventure in the city of Carasir, which is what the elves call Portland. I snuck it past Bull, and I snuck it past Jason Hardy. All right, that's how most things get past editors. But yeah, there's Padraig's Tavern, and it's got the whole gang in there. And I told someone that on Reddit or something once, and they went, oh my god, I slept with D. Oh my god, oh no, my character. And so it's good times.
So let's start. I don't know that we scheduled any specific announcements, but Lee, do you have anything that you're wanting to announce for Dice Crimes?
Dice Crime? Yeah.
No is okay. You can say no.
Season 3 started 2 weeks ago.
So if you haven't checked it out,
We'll probably be ending it somewhere around December, and then I think we might change DMs. We haven't fully decided anything yet, but we haven't figured it out. So be aware. Hey. Sorry, here. I do the editing. I'm sorry.
yeah, Opty. Hold on, let me from here. So I'm gonna have the same question for everybody. Do you have anything to announce?
The Hidden Grid is very consistently released.
That's good.
Because I don't release it.
So So, and you're, for those who don't know, GMing that, right? Or are you playing?
Okay. So I'm taking a lot for granted. So I have a podcast called the Neo-Anarchist Podcast, in character history of the Shadowrun universe. I like it. That's why I made it. I hope you like it too. But along the way, I also got this gig of being the GM for the Hidden Grid, which was dead, and we resurrected it. Although I'm not technically into necromancy, I made an exception. We resurrected the Hidden Grid. I'm the GM, and as soon as we're done running whatever we're running next, I'm going to keep it a secret, and then I get to play. And so I get to play, and it's set in the 2050s, so I get to play as Opty, young Opty in this game. That's
really cool.
I'm pretty pumped about that. That's kind of exciting. As far as other announcements, I'm gonna do self-promotion. Is that?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
That's what this is for.
Okay, so I have this. I have my fake sin is OC Presley, and like apparently they let me write Shadowrun stuff now, and I'm really excited about that. So I'm really bad at this. Hey, yeah, there it is. So there's this book called Drawing Destiny. It's a tarot deck anthology, and I got something in there which is all about neo-anarchism. I mean, like, kind of, but it's got Alphaben. If you guys are familiar with Alphaben from the Jack Point, he's a neo-anarchist. So he's in that one. It's a story about him and bringing down the man. And then we also have Shadowrun Anarchy, which even if nothing else, I got to name it. So that's like, my mark is right there. So and there's a couple of things. The Saddle box set, which was kind of fun. I even had, I'm not credited in it, but I had something in the Court of Shadows as well. And I'll be honest with you, that is like super awesome. I can't believe that they let the wolf in the hen house, and I'm doing as much damage as I can before they kick me out. Those are the things I'm most excited about, and there will be a few more episodes this month. Yay.
Does everybody know what Shadowrun Anarchy is? Okay.
See, I told you I'm really bad at this. Why don't you tell us what it is, Russell?
Thank you, Opty. I will. It's a rules light narrative version of Shadowrun for people that prefer page counts lower than 480. And I'm noticing and pointedly ignoring Opty right now. But this is the kind of preview. That's why it's called prototype. The full version will be out tantalizing, I say, very soon. This is the basic rules, a bit of a rundown on the Shadowrun fluff. 6 sample characters: Sledge, Hardpoint, Gentry, Coy Dog, Miss Myth, and
Patrick's character.
Oh, and Patrick's character, a female dwarven adept. So we got complete gender parity and overrepresented halfers, which is ironic because they're small. I'm a racist. Shut up. But yeah, so it's got sample characters. It's got some sample scenarios in it written by O.C. Presley. I did 5 of the 6 sample characters, but that's cool. That's out. It's $5 for the kind of preview jobby right now. We are inviting people that pick up the preview to like go home, throw together a game with your buddies, and get us some feedback as soon as possible, because it is not too late to change some stuff.
We're eventually going to talk about podcasting.
Oh, okay.
That was my bad.
What, for letting him talk?
You said it was for self-promotion.
No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking.
This is a serious thing, Bobby.
Yeah, they got the book for only $5 at the Catalyst booth, the intro book. So if you want to check it out, try to do some play testing. Not play testing, but try out the game.
Kind of play testing.
Yeah.
Quick note, just to explain this real super quick. I built these 5 characters without finalized character generation rules. Like I was kind of making half of it up. But no, that's not where I'm going. Opty, calm down. But I built these 5 characters in less time than it took me to make the one Shadowrun character I was bringing to play at Gen Con. That's the scale. Okay, I made 5 new characters, trying to make them match existing stats and making up the rules for making characters in the time that it took me to not even finish one normal SR5 dude. So to me, that was when it really clicked that it was working. That's what we're shooting for. So check it out. We hope you guys like it. The response we've gotten, the interest so far has been a big "I told you so" to Jason and Rand, because they were like, "I'm not sure fans are interested in that." And I was like, "Here's a thread with 500 posts of people saying, 'I love the world and I hate your stupid rules.'" So yeah, people are digging it. So check out Anarchy. It's the thing that the two of us are super jacked about.
Yeah.
It's a very narrative system, and it's different in a lot of ways, but it also has a very Shadowrun feel. You've got your dice pools, handfuls of D6s. It's just really simplified and streamlined, and you can do crazy, weirder, over-the-top stuff that you probably couldn't actually do or pull off in the regular game.
I'm going to skip myself and let you go because I'm going to segue mine into the thing that I'm going to do.
Okay. All right, so I guess I have some announcements. Let me try to remember what they are. Oh, yeah. So no really big podcast announcements. I mean, we're still putting out episodes. We are going to start releasing. We're going to start releasing the actual plays on a faster basis, as in either more episodes or maybe longer episodes. You guys okay with that? Longer. I've been nervous about making them too long because then I feel like people say 2 hours. I don't have time for that. But if 45 minutes to an hour, anyway. I'll stop babbling about that. But so the reason why I want to do that is I'd like to get some. I see all this cool stuff some of the other actual plays are doing with some actual fan engagement and people being able to kind of make suggestions and affect the story. And right now the episodes I'm releasing were recorded over a year ago, so I want to catch up so we can do some more cool stuff with that. We're revamping some of our Patreon stuff. One of the biggest things we're adding. I think one of the most exciting, in my opinion, is I'm going to be running 2 games for patrons.
That's really cool.
And they're going to be the last Sunday of the month and the last Friday of the month. It'll be Sunday afternoon, and Friday will be in the evening. And there'll be 6 slots available for the Friday one, 5 for the Sunday one, and those will be limited, but they're going to be going up Friday, August 12th at 7 p.m. U.S. Central. So if you're interested in that, just make a note of that time so you can keep an eye out for it, and looking forward to gaming with some of you. As far as other news, it's not really Shadowrun related, but we got a little project going with Rusty here and Kevin Zarnecki, who is identifying himself over there. I wasn't going to point in
Put
case
your hand
you
up higher.
want to be anonymous, but why would you be anonymous? That's a stupid idea. And this is basically it's going to be a podcast audio drama. It's fully produced, sound effects, music, original story written by Rusty. Kevin's the voice director, and I'm sure he's going to be doing some voice acting there, and I'm doing all the audio stuff.
And the rest of the voice acting is being also done by professional voice actors like Kevin is. We're paying full union prices. We're getting, actual grown-up talent on this.
Yeah, we're going to do this right and be
us.
a really really nice production. And we're going to be kickstarting it to be able to afford to do it. So that'll be in September.
Yeah, quarter 4 kickstart date that we're going to pester our other podcaster friends to help us advertise.
And if it goes over well, we'll do more of it. We have some more promo stuff we're doing for that. Actually, Rusty's written up a short script, and we're going to kind of do that as a sketch. So it won't be
later.
Yeah, later.
So you're going to get to hear some of us read some parts from it to get a little bit of taste of it. And to be clear,
we'll probably be goofy.
Yeah. To clarify, this is not a Shadowrun thing, right?
It's not Shadowrun. It's in the Over the Stars settings. If you followed any of Rusty's stuff that he's been writing recently and posting about, it's a sci-fi space opera kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a clunky military tech level sci-fi stuff where starships are crosses between modern day battle cruisers and skyscrapers. That clunky, still using electricity, still using hard ammo, weapons type of junk. And I'm working on a novel. This is actually going to be a prequel to it. Just a bit of a pimp for the Kickstarter, but these characters, because it's enough of a prequel, stuff's going to be named after them in the ongoing series, and we're going to let people Kickstart bid to name characters. There's only 2 characters that I even have a gender picked out for. So, the premier naval academy in the galaxy could be named after you. in, you'll be, a character name in here, but then it's going to carry over into the ongoing series. So it's going to be kind of some, geeky fun stuff there.
Yeah, I'm super excited about it, and I really hope it funds so we can do it.
He smiled, so that means he is excited.
Let's see, other news quick, just to do the sort of somewhat self-promotion. If you notice some of the writing credits, it says CZ Wright. That is my wife, Courtney, or some of you may know of her as Vox. And she's had some stuff published recently as well. She's in the fiction anthology that Chad mentioned earlier. She wrote a chapter in Court of Shadows. She's not responsible for the stats on Lady Brain Day, just saying she did the actual write-up. No, I don't want to get any further than that, but
Good job bringing it up, though, Opty.
so she's not a crunch person. She likes doing the storyline stuff, but it's
I'm being a jerk. It's okay.
yes, she's written fiction in Howling Shadows, opening fiction for Data Trails. Oh, the Sail Sprawl box set, that whole section with the different maps of locations and adventure hooks and stuff, like the really creepy, nasty corporate prison where they keep people in essentially little dangling coffins that they can recall through a rail system. I thought that was really cool. That was a lot of fun. I'm super happy that she's gotten a chance to be published. I wish I could have talked her into tagging along with Gen Con, but she's focusing on writing stuff for the week. So,
But if she happens to see this, everybody say, "We miss you, Vox."
We miss you, Vox.
I'll end my rambling there for now.
Okay, then I guess that leaves me. So my name's Bobby. How many of you guys watch my YouTube channel? Okay, I want an audible confirmation. Sorry, I forgot to tell you guys the rules. Yeah. So it sounds that I'm cooler than I really am. Some announcements from me. So those of you who do follow what I do, there's a little thing that I do called Ask Bobby, where I get on there and just take questions that people email me and send me on Twitter or YouTube comments and everything. I'm actually going to stop doing that, but I'm going to do the last one of it today, here with you guys. I've got that's why my brother-in-law and Road to Gen Con partner Tyler over here. Say hi, Tyler.
Yay, Tyler!
Yeah.
That's why he's running the camera for me. I'm going to hopefully get this footage and dice it up and turn it into something and put it on the channel as the last Ask Bobby. Now, for those of you who are wondering what's going to happen to Ask Bobby, we really like that stuff because I've gotten a lot of feedback from people saying, don't get rid of it, don't get rid of it. It's changing to another format, and I've teased it here and there and told other people about this and that and kind of talked about it in other avenues, but I'm officially fully announcing right now that I'm going to be starting a new Shadowrun podcast in September, towards the middle to end of September, with a co-host. And where is she? Cassie, stand up. Cassie is also a cast member, as well as Cliff, on the Shadowrun actual play that we're about to get started. So if you guys have been hearing about that, it takes place in my hometown, Columbia, South Carolina. We've been doing a lot of world building with that. A lot of you have participated. How many people have sent in characters or locations for that for me? Yeah, you guys are awesome. I've had a lot of fun with those. I know some of them I'm putting in like right from the beginning. Some people, Annabelle, which was yours, Cassie loves because she snatched that one up. It was going to be one of her contacts. So we're really excited about that. But yeah, long story short, that's coming, and Cassie's also joining me with this new podcast we're going to be starting. It's going to be an open kind of roundtable discussion style podcast. We're going to have rotating guest hosts come in every episode, one or two additional people. Rusty's already told me that he'll do it whenever I need him.
I don't say no to anybody with a microphone.
I'm sure I can convince Opty to come on, and Cliff, and Dee, and anybody. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to put him on the spot right now. One of our first episodes that we want to do is about neo-anarchy. Would you like
that
to
a
guest,
question?
Would you like to guest host?
I would do whatever you want me to do.
All right. You heard it.
Not because I like the microphone. because I like you.
Thank you. Okay, so we've got a lot of cool topics lined up about all sorts of things. It's going to be sort of, like I said, freeform kind of roundtables. Freeform's the wrong word. We're going to have freestyle. It's going to be segmented and all that kind of stuff. Oh wait. And anyway, I'll just keep going and going and going. We're going to have a lot of fun with it. It's going to be, I think Cassie can confirm, I think we said September 21st? Something like that.
That's my birthday, so move it.
It could be.
That's my day.
Yeah, so it won't be September 21st anymore.
Just one thing real quick. Be careful you don't put your elbow on this.
Okay, thank you.
Kind of close.
Don't be a
Okay.
jerk, Bobby.
Don't ruin everything. So look forward to that. If you're following me on Twitter, I'll talk about it all over there. I'm sure I'll put something on. You can go and no, you can't. Never mind. So I want to just go right into what we're gonna do. The Ask Bobby. Do you guys want to ask me some questions?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He walks around with a wireless mic.
Yeah, I've got something that will entice you to ask me some questions. I'm gonna
Okay.
do something.
Who has
totally,
an ask for Bobby?
I'm totally amateur here. I'm gonna move this microphone under the table.
Why don't you introduce yourself and then ask your question?
How you doing, Bobby? I am Fasternate from the forums and various places. I have a question about, I have a rigger
Thanks.
that I GM for who wants to be a little bit more stealthy, and he wants to be able to place a mark.
A rigger who wants to be a
Be
little
able to
bit.
place marks, because he wants to be able to jump into bad guy stuff.
Okay.
So he wants to use the electronic device modification rules to add an attribute from data trails, that modification, and he
Oh God.
wants to be able to use hacking actions. If he has, like, his thought is if he has a
I need to take
sleaze
notes.
attribute, then he can at least push the limit and try a hack on the fly.
Okay.
Is that possible?
So this is the part where everybody finds out that I can't do this live. So I'm gonna turn it. I'm gonna take advantage of my my help here. Cliff knows a lot about the rules. Cliff, here's the thing. I don't know a lot about riggers.
I'm actually paying attention too. So
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
That's the real problem.
I too am here.
And now for our Ask Cliff section.
Yeah. So
right,
this
so-
is the Ask Bobby and let him delegate. No, so to clarify your question, you want to know, you've got a rigger who wants to place marks, and can he use what?
He wants to use his RCC to
Yeah.
place. Sorry, he wants to modify his RCC
Okay.
with the rules in data trails to
Yeah.
add an attribute that
Okay.
he wouldn't otherwise have, which is the sleaze attribute.
Right.
Okay.
To give it a 1, and then maybe increase it to 2, which is also possible in data
Sure,
trails.
sure.
But that's as high as it can really go. Can he do that? And then, if he was going to hack on the fly, he would have to use a point of edge to blow the limit if he wanted more than 2 hits.
So to place a mark, you would be able to do hack. I want to say with sleaze, because you could do that with your comlink, right?
Like,
if your
here's the
comlink-
thing. In data trails, which I have open here, it specifically says these can be attached to comlinks.
No, not dongles.
No, not dongles?
Yeah, it's about 2 pages, 3
Okay,
pages.
okay.
There we go.
Cool. Because I really want this to work because I think it's an awesome idea.
So
It
I think
here's
you should let him do it even if the rules say no
Yeah,
because it's super cool.
Yeah.
So here's a point of clarification, Cliff and Bobby. If you can't do that, then what the heck is it there for?
That's an excellent question.
Yeah, the language on the modifications is device, not comlink specific.
Yeah.
So I don't think it can use a comlink dongle, but why not do a module? That is
Yeah,
a
I
really
mean-
cool idea.
Yeah.
Then he just uses edge to push the limit because who cares if he has a stealth sleaze of 1?
Thread closed.
Yeah, so that's what I would say is
I love it. I didn't think of it.
the
Why
great
didn't I
thing
think of
about
that?
home games is that you can do those kinds of things if you think that it should work, right? It's about having fun. Okay? So if you think he's going to have more fun, then do it. But I think the rules are ambiguous enough. My researcher over here just
They're
just
really
confirmed
ambiguous,
that.
actually.
There are places in those
this
rules
case.
where it specifies
Oh.
Comlink or Cyberdeck. Like some of it is specifically Cyberdeck only, and it doesn't say that under those modifications.
Yeah, this is
so
just device.
I say let fly. Hack the world, bro.
All right, who has another question for Cliff?
Faster, Nate.
No, for Bobby.
Hold on. If you ask me a question, I've got some T-shirts. Okay.
Woohoo!
What size? What size? I've got a couple of medium through.
No, he's supposed to be throwing them. This is lame.
No. Carrie was supposed to procure a T-shirt cannon.
Myself here.
Hey, honestly, Faster Nate's been passing out these really awesome edge tokens, which you got to get a closer look at some point. Just come talk to us. This is so cool. He gave me 7 because my character has 7 edge.
And you're better at advertising than I am. Make sure you hold it.
Are you going to be selling these or something?
$1.
Awesome.
I'm just giving it to you for free because you can tell it.
Hold 'em up.
All right.
The camera can see it.
You're my advertiser.
Now, you really want one of these. You want to ask me a question because each one of these T-shirts took me 40 minutes to make.
Faster Nate, if you're not a bourgeois podcaster, how can you get one of your cool edge tokens?
You just come find me. I am a demo agent, so I am in the Shadowrun room probably 12 hours a day. Just come around and look for me. This face.
Dat face.
Ask any of the agents. Well, most of the agents in there already have one, so ask them. They'll be able to point you in my direction too.
Yeah. Thanks.
You bet.
Who else? Who's next?
Thank you for the
Introduce
coin.
yourself and ask your question.
I'm Jacob McQuaid. I was wondering if you brought any of those treats that you made on
Oh man, I was hoping nobody would ask.
because I was iffy about them, so I wanted to try them before I judged it.
Okay, here's the short answer to your question.
It's in cookies and a shirt. You were born for Shadowrun. Treats.
Well, the short answer. This is the other Shadowrun part. There's a double cross. The short answer to your question is no. We do not have the treats. We got to about Tennessee or Kentucky, and on our way from
Really?
South Carolina, and I said, Tyler, oh my God, we forgot to make them. We were so busy the day before, and we're just gonna make them the day before.
I just thought you were
But
what you made
you
on
know
the
what you
show.
could do? Go on and watch my Road to Gen Con series, and on one of the more recent episodes, I tell you how to make them.
You're hungry. You can make your own crap. Who else has a question?
You get a T-shirt.
Oh. I don't want to
What size do you want? Thank you.
I can take a medium or a large, right? Here when I'm last.
I took your mic. Where did you get another mic?
I'm holding it for Bobby because, as a human, he only has 2 hands.
Those T-shirts are tagless as well. Which really, though, why is that a thing still?
Bobby, that.
Okay,
that is
so
amazing.
here's you get a limited edition, complex action shirt. You see, what happened was I was working on it. I told you these things take 40 minutes, right? Seriously, you can turn it in for another one if you want. But these things take 40 minutes to make. So I get through the thing, and I had put the decal. I made a stencil to draw that out. I put it down, and I'm like,
Something wrong here.
Yeah,
Why is this one done in 30?
Who else has a question for Bobby? Oh, we had yeah. Introduce yourself, please.
All right, my name's Jake, and
Hello, Jake.
it's going to be a little broken up because I've only been playing Shadowrun for about like a year and a half.
That's all right. As you can tell, I don't.
Hey,
Yeah.
more experience
As
than
you
me.
can tell, I don't know much about the rules.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
Well, unfortunately, I also have another rigor question. Though.
Oh, great. I'll direct this one to Cliff.
And I've been on the forums a lot, and I can't really find a specific answer to it.
Okay.
But I don't know. I don't understand how riggers can jump into a motorcycle while they're on it. I know
Okay.
from SR4 they take a negative 6 to their dice pool when they're in VR, but there hasn't really. I haven't really seen anything definitive about it.
All right, so I'm actually, this is more of a, I've heard this question before, and everybody has their own kind of answers to clarify your question, you're a rigger, you jump into a motorcycle, and why is it that you don't just, like, crash into the next thing?
Yeah, I've heard
right?
stuff like gyros.
Yeah,
That works.
so my favorite explanation for this, I think, actually, coincidentally, is one that you gave, Cliff, when I heard you answer a question like this before.
Yeah, I think I've answered this in the
Yeah.
show before.
And I love this answer was that when you're jumped in as a rigger in a motorcycle, people make these programs, right? It's not just like it just happens to go into your brain and it just the bike magically knows. Like, people have manufactured these things and they know what you're doing with it because that's what you're doing with it. So there's algorithms and things that are correcting for these things, and I think that it knows that you're going to be gyroscopic stabilization is, I think, absolutely a thing that's happening. It's taking into account your bikes by themselves already go forward. They tend to continue to go forward.
Very good.
You know how sometimes you say things and you don't realize what it sounds like until it comes out of your mouth?
I would like to close this one out when you two are done with a non-professional podcaster answer. So
yeah, so I think so that's the short answer is I think that it's there's a lot of other things going on that don't necessarily need to go on when you're jumped into a four-wheeled vehicle. So it's detecting things like that. The gyroscopic stabilization, it's reading through sensors if the bike is going left or right, your body, and probably it maintains, this is the part that I think I like that Cliff said, it's going to understand that it's going to maintain a certain amount of muscle tension to keep you, still on the bike. And all these things are happening because the people who design these programs that are managing the fact that you're jumped into a motorcycle have hopefully already thought of this and tested this somewhere before.
After the first rigger fell over and really
Right.
Oh, we should probably come up with a solution for that.
Well, yeah, I've heard a lot of explanations for it, but I was just curious if there was actually anything definitive.
No, I don't think there is like an official. What do you think, Rusty?
I think that there are two things that matter, and that's rules and fluff, right? Rules-wise, is it worse for a GM, like more difficult, is the game more broken if the rigger is exposed to open air on a motorcycle or if that motherfragger stays in an armored car all the time, right? So like crunch-wise, you want to encourage players to follow the rule of cool and be on a bike instead, right? So like rules-wise, I don't think it breaks the game to encourage them to ride an exposed vehicle instead of a GMC Bulldog step van. Fluff-wise, it was good enough for the mid-1990s novel Dead Air, which is all about totally bitchin' like Bon Jovi hairband elven combat bikers. So if it's good enough for mid-90s Bon Jovi hairband elven combat bikers, it's good enough for your game. There we go.
Thank you. What size shirt do you want?
Medium.
All right.
It's gonna shrink.
If you go back and check all the art for every Shadowrun motorcycle ever, if you look real closely, you will see very, very small training wheels on the back. Right?
Are these 100% cotton? These are 100% cotton. This is a large. If you think it'll shrink, then I'll give you this one. But if you want the medium, I'll do this.
So there is some fluff,
Medium? Okay.
right, about riggers where a lot of times riggers have their little data jack thing in the back by their, So I guess what I'm saying, damn it, Rusty, every damn time. And so like the fluff goes that the riggers kind of feel the vehicle with the bottom part, like they're, so the top part's like free to do whatever they want, which is like hold on or lean or whatever.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you got it, man.
You had a question.
Yes.
Please introduce yourself.
My name's Matthew. Sorry, my voice is jacked up from yelling in the room. My name's Matthew, and I play Jax the Decker, and he also really loves jazz. So what I want to know is, I know that when I'm jazzy, not jazz the music, jazz the drugs, because it's, Wide Reflexes cost too damn much money, but jazz is pretty cheap, right? All right, there's a small chance. Yeah, that's right, because you're not going to survive in Shadowrun, so who cares if you live long? You're not going to prosper. All right, so my question is, while I'm jazzed up, I know that in AR, I get a 2d6 extra while I'm doing AR or in the regular world. But when I go VR, I get an additional 3d6. Do those stack and put me up to 5d6, or do I only get one or the other? It just overrides completely.
Yeah, I think that I'm pretty sure. No, I'm pretty sure that's what it was, but I wasn't 100%.
Bobby was about to ask Bull anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty straightforward answer. I think it's one or the other.
Personal experience,
Sounds good. That's what I figured, but I was like, well.
But you do that jazz. You do you.
Hey, as soon as combat breaks out, that's the first thing that kicks off my auto injector.
You still pop out that auto inhaler before you go jacking in, man. I mean, just you do what you want. Nobody can tell you not to.
Okay. What up? A T-shirt. What size do you want? I'm gonna. So what I'm gonna start doing is outsourcing the T-shirts to Cliff if Cliff doesn't mind. Good luck with that.
So now, if you want to ask a question or get a shirt, it's you got to ask Cliff.
Yeah. What question?
Okay. Please introduce yourself.
Robert Wolford. Should be Rigger Rob on the forums at some point.
Yeah.
I just joined the Catalyst demo team basically today.
Excellent.
Tomorrow,
you're ahead of me. I still haven't joined the demo team, so.
My question is, I have 2 hours to get 4 people characters made tomorrow. Any advice? Because I did 6 people in 10 hours at home with a whip.
So you're doing the Builder Runner?
I'm doing Builder Runner.
I have. Can I?
Yeah, no, because I spend hours and days making every one of my characters. I don't have good advice for this.
So I had never done the Builder Runner either, but I was scheduled for it yesterday, and so I went over there and I was like, "Hey, Ray Regal, the guy, right?" And so I said, "Hey, Ray, I've never done this before. Like, if it's not Hero Lab, I don't know how to make characters." And so,
yeah, no kidding,
right? And so So he said, yes, there's a little form that basically has like a walk you through it. Here's how you build the character. Now, here's the best part, because the worst thing about building characters is like when you get to the gear, some people like to spend 1 billion years on gear, fine. Most of us would just rather go like, hey, can you give me like the default like street samurai package, please? And so in Run Faster, around page 230.
Packs.
Yes, go to the gear packs, and that will simplify everything. And you have 2 hours. That will cut it down to I just made a character in about an hour, and then you'll have a whole hour just to fart around or go to the, display stuff or whatever. Cool. Is that cool? And then there's going to be somebody else there too, and you go, dude, I've never done this before. Can you totally help me? And they'll be like, yeah. Can you watch my table because I just already helped these guys? And then they'll just walk over and help your guys.
Oh, wow.
So like no pressure. If you don't know, just make it up because they'll figure it out that you sucked at it anyway and do it when they get home. So like it's no pressure at all. Just have fun.
When are you
I got a
doing
quick
tomorrow?
piece of advice too on that.
Noon is the first session and 2 is the second.
Okay.
Right on.
If I'm available, I might swing by and cut your workload in half because I like helping
Listen
new
to
players.
this guy.
I feel bad that they need help to make a character in SR5, so when I can, I help them. And it's that simple.
Or
It's-
he could say something like, I want to hang out with this person and I'd rather you not come. Which is what happened yesterday.
Except that I'm stuck in a drive home with Opty also. So I'm like, please save me. Give me an excuse.
Okay.
Yeah,
Who has another question?
Oh, hey, real quick, I had one more piece of
Yes.
advice
I
for
saw you
that.
had-
It's one thing I do when I do the Builder Runner stuff is I just give a quick rundown of the archetypes, let them know like what's available in case they don't know, and ask them what they want to do, what they want to be good at, and I basically like, go, all right, I recommend you do these for priorities. I recommend that you pick these for your stats. Feel free to give them some freedom within it, but don't give them too many choices. Okay. And just basically ask them kind of what they want to do in non-rules terms, and tell them what they need to do in game terms. You're essentially helping them build it that way. If some people will want to be like, nope, I want to make sure to go through the details and awesome, help them get started and let them sit and look through stuff and read and while you focus on the other people.
And if you don't finish in time, tell them about anarchy.
And if this is too complicated, just ignore all of that and go pick up that $5 book. Yeah.
I did. I picked it up. I just haven't had a chance to read.
Yeah, no.
So,
All right,
what size you want?
fat guy.
Who's next? We got another question? Anybody? Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, you don't stand up. It's fine.
Oh, thank God.
Introduce yourself.
Because I'm short either way, so it doesn't really matter. I'm Missy. I'm
not on the forums. I stalk people on Reddit. So, and I'm gonna lob an easy one for Bobby. It doesn't involve rules. It's just general podcasting. But I'm also gonna throw it at everybody.
Sure.
What's your favorite topic? Like everybody talks about kind of a little bit of everything, but does anybody have a pet thing that's like, if we get you started on that, you're just not going to shut up for 3 hours?
One thing that every time I get an Ask Bobby question, I try to turn it into how to... One thing that I'm really, really passionate about is Shadowrun in the world and the setting, right? And I think that too much people let the rules get in the way, okay? And so I get a lot of rules questions, and as you can see, I don't pay much attention to the rules.
He says as he releases yet another YouTube video explaining the rules.
Well, I do a lot of research because rules questions are important. You guys have seen my GM screen videos. I do think that I do like to help people with the rules, but I don't remember them. I never do, and so that's one thing that I'm passionate about is trying to help people understand that if you don't know the rules and don't let it get in the way, don't scare people away by trying to spend 40 minutes looking up a rule. Just wing it. That the rules are there to provide structure and to provide. The rules are there to help you, and if they're not helping you, then you don't need them. So. And like you said, you're asking me about what I'm passionate about, so I'll just keep going and going and going if somebody doesn't.
Rusty doesn't get to answer this question because literally we would be here 3 hours as he talks about elves. There, I spoiled it. Nope.
I'll talk about my second favorite thing since I already told her about elves today. No. Well, she asked us this morning, and it's a reason for the answer. But
Cliff, what's your favorite part of
being quiet.
Shadowrun?
Let's make him talk. Talk, Cliff. Give the people what they want.
I was waiting for Rusty to stop talking, and then he didn't. I was ready for that.
Monday.
You have to,
Right,
take the reins.
I guess a lot of stuff, but I guess one of the things I really like talking about, I guess, and this is in the context of like Shadowrun podcasting. Okay. Is, I guess just diving into the crunch, helping to distill it into a way that makes it easier for people to understand, but then also like looking for different like weird creative direct you can come up with rules, like Faster Nate's player who wants to give a sleaze attribute to his RCC. I think that's cool, and I think and the crunch to narrative spectrum for role playing games. Shadowrun is pretty far to the crunch side. I've seen some other stuff that are much farther extremes, like if you've ever checked out Millennium's End, that one's like, that's probably the crunchiest I can think of. Anyway, tangent. Where was I going with this?
Your favorite part?
Yeah, favorite Reddit.
Here it is. So a really crunchy rule system, some people see that as restrictive. I actually kind of think that provides some more context to really come up with creative ways to like just do different weird fun things. So that's one of the things I like to talk about.
Lee, what's your favorite part of Shadowrun?
Actually, it's building characters. I mean, not necessarily. Thank you. It's not like overpowered characters and stuff. I mean, though it's great with Hero Lab, just making some ridiculous stuff. But like finding just a nuance of like a rule or like the religions that are into the magic is just fascinating to me. So I just go in there and I'll sit there for about 6 to 8 hours, just one guy, one character, and it's probably suboptimal as hell. But
and then you won't even push save.
Want.
You'll just go eat dinner. And then
yeah.
I just discovered that the one I made for missions was a little lacking today.
Yeah.
But I had fun playing.
Yeah, if you're enjoying it, I mean, that's all that matters.
I'm going to jump in and go back before we get too far away from it. Cliff was talking about how much he likes the crunch and the rules and explaining it to people. I'll help bring context to some of the things. For a while now, my GM screens have been being written by Cliff. So that's sort of, in a way, yeah.
The illusion is shattered.
Yeah.
Gone forever.
But I've got
It was really funny.
3-year-old and a 6-month-old, and people want them weekly.
Yeah, it was funny. I remember I lost my day job, and I lost my day job. Yeah, I was planning on quitting anyway, so not a big deal. They did me a favor, so it's awesome. But I mentioned about hey, I just lost my day job in conversation. It's like, oh, hey, do you want to write my stuff for me for $50 a month? I'm like, yeah, awesome. He's like, oh, actually, really, I have somebody to do that already, and I was just kidding. And then 2 weeks later, I was like, actually, I want you to write them.
It's like 9:10. Do we need to do anything else?
Yeah, well, we need to.
No, right. I'm just.
No. I want to hear what your pet topic is.
Okay, yeah.
Gosh, Opty, what the heck?
I don't like self-promotion. So this may or may not come as a surprise, but I really like this social commentary part of Shadowrun because the world is super screwed up, and Shadowrun allows me to point out how screwed up our actual world is without offending as many people.
Yeah,
I can say exactly what I think, and nobody goes like, "You blankety blank."
Yeah, if you guys have seen the interview I did with Opty on my YouTube channel, we talk a lot about that. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. So Shadowrun allows me to be who I want to be, and nobody judges it. So it's like stealth.
Actually, no, we judge you as awesome.
That was very pleasant. Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
And one thing that I
Tim
want...
Patrick!
Tim!
Did you win?
No, we tried though.
Those
lame.
So coming up the aisle is
Bad
Tim
word,
Patrick
guys.
from the Critical Glitch podcast. Join us up here.
Sorry for being late. Here, I'll move out of the way.
It's our homie Timmy P.
So we, I want people to keep asking questions, but I wanted to give a chance to, give people a taste of this if you still want to do that.
It is predicted at approximately 3 minutes long.
Yeah, that's fine.
The thing is, it's also like dramatic actiony stuff, and I kind of feel like I like our current vibe a little bit better.
You want to keep answering questions?
If people still have questions, or if I'm allowed to answer this one.
I am
no.
I'm really
and
sorry.
Then and then Tim gets to.
How about we just skip you? Everybody knows.
No.
You have been on every podcast answering this damn question.
Yeah.
Elves.
You need to go on Lee's podcast. Yes.
Okay, so
but Tim does need to answer.
Yeah,
this
so I'm gonna let Tim know what the question was, Opty. Like I'm a professor.
I hope it comes. I'm not really busting his chops. We really like you.
I hate this fucker.
And that is our relationship right there.
My one-word answer. I heard somebody guess it. What was?
Oh, elves.
Elves. Okay. Now, that's true on the surface because the ancients and Land of Promise and Elven Blood.
You're the freaking elfiest man in gaming.
The reason for it, though, is elves in Shadowrun are a microcosm of Shadowrun because it can be the fantasy bullshit or it can be just some dude that happens to have pointy ears, and there's room for all of it. There's an elven ghetto. Right? I mean, a ghetto full of broke elves that have been broke their whole life, and the only reason they're not dead yet is they're elves, so they're not going to die of old age. And they've been poor and homeless and starving since the Night of Rage. Right? A ghetto full of elves. That's fucking Shadowrun. Right? And that's it. I mean, that's what I love about it, is the Shadowrun has room for the veneer of fantasy crap, and that's a totally valid character, right? But then you can also just be some guy that has pointy ears, and the pointiest of elves. Yeah, but it's there's room for both, and that's what makes Shadowrun cool. It can be as fantasy or as dystopian cyber future as you want.
As fantasy as you want, as Court of Shadows has proven to everyone.
Sure. I mean, it's technically an alt thing, but yeah, I mean, it's super fantasy or, the super gritty cyberpunk stuff, and both interpretations are completely valid, and both characters can be in the same fucking group, right? And it works,
sure.
So it's elves as a microcosm, not just elves, but it's what elves say about Shadowrun, and that's my answer. So let's
Awesome.
pass it to Tim.
So the question, Tim, and by the way, we haven't met. My name's Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Lee.
The question was that was asked by Missy, right? She wanted us to each go around and explain what our kind of pet topic is about Shadowrun, what we like to talk about the most, what we find ourselves talking about the most in the venues that we talk about things.
Things you like.
Damn it! Don't ruin this for us, Tim.
No, the thing I like the most about Shadowrun is there's no limits. There's no...
Except for the limits.
Limits.
That's what Edge is for.
Except
Come
for
on.
mental, physical...
I don't need that. That's what Edge is for. Come on.
There are no lowercase limits.
Right.
Really, you can explore any topic you want. You can set in any setting you want. You're not constrained. It's your imagination is your only limitation in the game. And the fact that you can have a 4-hour session that evolves into a TPK before they even meet the Johnson.
Yes. I love that answer. Yeah. That's true. Paranoia is great for that too, if you guys have ever played
But you expect it.
I also love putting my players through as much pain as possible without actually killing them. They're characters. I love that too.
So do you want to open it up for just general
Yeah, you know what? Let's
questions,
go
too?
ahead and say, so that was, we'll close out the, Ask Bobby part of it, right? Which,
But if you still want to ask Bobby something, feel free.
The way we were going to kind of finish this out for the rest of it, and this is, like Rusty said, this is a really good vibe we got going here, so I want to roll with it. Let's just open it up to questions about anything and everything, what we're doing podcasting-wise, behind-the-scenes stuff, Shadowrun, just any kind of questions you have for any of us, and we'll just do that. And you know what? If we still have T-shirts, then you can get one.
If I could jump in, just interject real quick, I just want to say one thing. I want to thank you all for coming, because this is Gen Con,
you guys need to
Friday night. There's way cooler stuff to do than be in this room with us.
I don't know about that.
But the reverse is not true. We literally do not have anything cooler to do than to be here with you guys, because it's super legit to meet a lot of you guys who we always wanted to meet, and it's fun.
I'm so thrilled there's people in this room besides us,
Yeah, no
and
kidding.
the people we talked into carrying our stuff for us. So
Yeah,
this is awesome.
when the event first went up, like every other day, I was going in there and seeing how many tickets were sold. I was like, oh, there's one.
And let me just take this moment to say that even if these guys weren't here, which I'm really glad I like you guys, and I like hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
Sans Rusty.
Any differently, honestly.
But if Rusty needs to be there in order to facilitate this, he can play.
I wanted to, while we're just spreading the hugs and loves around, I wanted to specifically thank someone who I think has made the whole community continue to stay strong in terms of the creator community, what we're doing here. We've thanked you guys, but I don't think Cliff, Mr. Johnson, can be thanked enough.
Indeed.
For everything, him and Vox, both of the Arcology podcast, they are just incredibly. They're cheerleaders for the community and for all of us, helping to spread the word and get everybody involved. I know personally I wouldn't be sitting here and nobody would be listening to me if it wasn't for them. I know...
Well, I got to pass some of that props on to Tim and Tinner for just being so cool and welcoming to it, an upstart podcast back in the day. It's such an awesome community, just as far as Shadowrun fans and... The writers and the people doing podcasting and stuff. It's just such a fun, open, friendly, positive environment. And we put stuff out on the internet. We've been doing this for 3 years. I've never had to deal with trolls or crazy, stupid direct that you see happens all the time. It's. Like the worst
Challenge
things are
accepted.
like, why the frag haven't you put on an episode yet? and they don't even say it that firmly. So, sorry, but I'm trying to be more consistent. But
yeah, my thing, I'm gonna spoil something about the next Kincaid novel, and that's the dedication page, and it's everybody but me in this room. It's to the people that hang out on the forums and go to the podcasts and give the podcasts. It's the fans, and I and my editor, but it's you guys are the community, and by you guys I don't just mean the ones that buy it. I mean the ones that get people to talk about it, right? I mean it's Jackpoint, right? It's Shadowland. It's that's you guys, right? These guys are like the admins of Jackpoint, and you guys are the users, and that's important. So that's why I say thank you at the end of all these podcasts that I'm on, and it's not thanks for having me, though also that, but it's thanks because you guys build the community. The podcasters and stuff give the fans something to rally around and focus on and keep people talking about the game and digging it. So I think I speak not only for myself but the other handful of writers hidden amongst you in the room. You guys fucking rock. So. Done.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we start crying, we'll get some more questions.
More questions.
Run, Opty.
Introduce yourself, please.
All right. Bruce. Yeah, good enough.
Bruce.
I sometimes post as Bruce on, so you might know me.
Yeah, Bruce on.
Yes. So Shadowrun Anarchy. Any more thoughts on it? Any more details you can give about it? Any thoughts on an actual play with it?
You know who you should ask about that. Of course, yes, you will.
See. Anarchy. Yes, I will say a few things. Anarchy is not Shadowrun Light. It is not Shadowrun 5th Ed with a whole bunch of stuff cut out. It's narrative. Narrative in that the story is way more important than the crunch. So if you take a bunch of crunch-loving Shadowrun 5e players and stick them in Anarchy, they're going to break it. If that's what they want to do, it's just going to be broken and nobody's going to have fun. But if you take a bunch of people who just say, I want to tell a story with the people around my table, and we want to inhabit and really kind of live into this world, then it's perfect for that. Yes, it'll be perfect for that. Yeah. Yeah, so you could pick up the preview edition, what do they call it? The prototype edition, and you can see that there are some similarities, right? So there's a lot of the attributes are collapsed down into a few less attributes, but there's overlap. The skills, and I'm really shooting from the hip here just based on the prototype because I don't know what else I can say beyond that. But a lot of the skills get combined down into basically their skill groups, right? So it's not like I'm proficient in, in pistols and long arms. I just have guns, right? And like just assuming that a Shadowrunner, big bad guy who gets paid to shoot things, can probably pick up a gun and use it, right? So along with that. There's the addition of plot points, and plot points really kind of allow the players to have a say in the way the story goes. I'm not going to give too much away. I don't know what I even can say that's going to end up being
out, so fuck it. I mean, we can talk about whatever's in prototype.
Can you say frag it from now on, please?
I'm role-playing as Jimmy Kincaid. I mean, we can talk about what's in there. So it's faster, it's streamlined, but it is going to be breakable without a certain amount of player character good nature and buy-in.
Yeah.
The plot point thing he just mentioned is a way for players to mess around with the story a little and toss in a monkey wrench to keep things dramatic. It's not there to spend a plot point and say Thor shot, right? And the game. But it can be there. The best example I have is from a playtest. You can spend a plot point to just make a thing happen. So you can't go commandos repel out of nowhere and save our butts. But in the playtest that Opty ran for some of us, we knew that backup was coming because we'd already contacted somebody and told them to come to this site. So in the middle of the fight's basically done. We're wrapping it up. We're like, let's just speed it up. Plot point. Those guys get here, and we get a truck full of neo-anarchists with AK-97s.
You know what the plot points are? You guys familiar with Scarlet Witch and her probability altering stuff, right? That's a plot point, right? right? So you spend a plot point, and you get to be Scarlet Witch for a turn, and you get to make something that's kind of improbable happen anyway.
It's for unlikely dramatic stuff.
Yes.
It's not for.
Yes, exactly. It's plot points are mega edge, essentially. Yeah.
Yeah, it's for unlikely but dramatic things. You can also sometimes spend them to like complicate a situation. Especially like something you can do is to add what's called a glitch die to another player's roll. Glitch die is a normal D6. On a 5 or 6, it's extra good, but on a 1, it's bad.
Right. I'll spend a plot point to make Tim Patrick slip on a banana.
Right. But yeah, it's that. So it can. It was a sincere laugh at your good idea. It was so yeah. It's got narrative elements. It is also, I will say, eminently house rulable, because there's so much less kind of crunch to it. I'm already planning to run it house ruling in like how we do initiative in other narrative games instead of the way it's set up, and it's one thing, right? Like I need to remove one line of text to run it the way we run all of our narrative initiative combat stuff. And it's that quick. It's
are
that
any
easy,
of the podcasters planning on running an Anarchy
See,
actual
that
play?
was what I was going to jump into. Yes, totally. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
So, as any of you who've listened to my show probably noticed, I've been kind of silent for a while, and I've made no bones about being a little bit burned out and not really having the passion for it anymore. And I know there was a question about Anarchy in general, and I went out and bought it, so that should give you an idea. This has really sparked my fire again. I do plan on running some actual plays of this. Potentially might even get something recorded this weekend while we've got some people here.
Very cool.
Ooh, first one. He's going to snake us all.
No, I probably won't have time to edit it because of work, but I'm going to get it recorded at least.
Is that a good answer? Okay, cool.
Real quick, before we get another one, I've got a question from Twitter.
Did that really happen just now?
Yeah. Well,
I love your technology.
Yeah.
This is like 2078 already.
It's from a lot of people know Joel DePippa. Is that?
Yay! I love Joel. Who else loves Joel?
Yes.
He's awesome.
Just say yay!
Yay, Joel DePippa.
I love you.
Yeah,
Joel.
he asked question for kind of everybody. What's the best part of being a Shadowrun podcaster?
I legitimately don't get to answer that one.
Yes, thank you, Joel.
Joel wins the panel.
Do you mind if I start this one? Or?
Yeah, go ahead, Tim.
So for me, the best part is got to be when we started the podcast a couple of years back, going to conventions, Origins, Gen Con, running games in that, specifically here at Gen Con, when they had us in the miniatures hall with everyone else, and someone hearing your battered voice after you've been running nonstop events and go, I know you.
Yeah, that is really cool.
I did that to him at the Catalyst meeting.
If I can say, just elaborate kind of along that line, just the people. I've made so many awesome friends that are like all around mostly the States, but also at other places in the world. Gotten to kind of hobnob with some of the people who make Shadowrun, and Courtney got her foot in the door and got to do some writing, and we go to these conventions and meet all these people and the demo team and other players and other podcasters, and it's just such an amazing experience just to get to meet all these people who are passionate about something that I'm also passionate about, and they're all such cool people.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I would say too. I know it's like we're all going to have probably the same or similar answers, because it sounds cliche for a reason, because this is what, like, we're you guys. We're like one of you guys, okay? Like, it's so weird to when I first started putting out videos, having people like tell me how great it was, and please do more. Right, I would not be still making GM screen videos or anything on YouTube if it wasn't for the positive response I get, because it's hard. It's hard to keep up with it and consistently put out content, as I'm sure anybody here can attest. But the reason we keep doing it is because you guys want it, and that's so cool to us, I think, or it is for me, and that's the best part for me, is seeing how much. How much you guys find the stuff that we do so useful, and I keep hearing people run into me and tell me, "Oh, your GM screen videos, I show it to all my players," and that's just really cool, and it's really great to have had a goal in mind when you do this stuff, and like hear people actually face to face telling you that what the reason you're doing it is why they're listening to it. So.
Oh, Bruce, what size T-shirt do you want? I have large XL, 2XL, and 3XL left.
Lee?
Yeah, I'm gonna have a similar answer. I mean, it's y'all. It's y'all here. It's every time Mansfield, who is at home. Hi, Mansfield.
Hello,
Nice to see you
Mansfield.
again, man.
Where is he? He's on the camera.
He's on the internet. So I'm pretty sure he's watching right now. So hi, internet. Hi, Mark. It's y'all here. It's they're live streaming. Yeah, I had to check the Twitter feed, like our Twitter feed, to make sure. Yeah. So it's y'all. It's like every time the episodes get posted, we look at the analytics like Christmas morning every week.
Oh yeah, that is a thing, by the way.
It is totally
every
a thing.
single episode I put out, like every 30 minutes. How many people have watched? How many people have watched?
So it's we wouldn't. Dice Cram still probably wouldn't be going if it wasn't for y'all listening and downloading and commenting to us to Twitter, Facebook, and everything. So no, really, it's y'all.
Opty?
Yeah. I'm not gonna repeat that answer because that's pretty close. And just anecdotally, like the first time Cliff and I met each other, we were just kind of like, I was like, oh my God, it's Mr. Johnson. And he's like, oh my God, it's Opty. And we were like, that was a moment, and that was when I realized it was like, okay, this is how this is. Like, he's just a dude, and I know I'm just a dude. So like, what if everyone is just, well, not dudes, but like, what if everybody is just a person? And then it kind of clicked for me, like everybody is actually a person.
For the first time?
Kinda. Kinda. So, right, that's the whole thing. Right, because I walked through my life and I felt like an NPC, and then it was like somebody looks at me like a character that's worth talking to. Like, hey, where can I find 5 chickens? Never mind.
But that's a really good point. I'm glad you said that, because I feel like doing this has also changed my perspective on people. Like, you realize that, people think of you a certain way, and you're just a person, so everybody else is
right.
just
Like, what
a
if
person
everyone
like me?
else has a rich internal life just like you?
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I understand.
So, but also, but here's I guess where I'm going with this is when I started doing what I did, which was ultimately really just for me, and I'm not going to lie and say I did it for anybody else. I just said, like, nobody else is doing this, and I really want to do this. I'm going to do it. And then everybody else was like, dude, that's awesome. And then it was like, oh, there's something to this. And then the more we talked about it, it was like, oh, everybody else actually resonates, not just with like, hey, I like Shadowrun history, but like what you're saying about like the loss of a certain kind of Shadowrun,
right.
The loss of a certain theme, right? The loss of, and I realized like I have not just the ability, but like the responsibility to represent some of those lost bits, right? So like that's what I've been taking seriously. Like the best thing to come out of it has been like me being able to push buttons, that I have been missing and that apparently resonate for everybody else. So it's like speaking for the people. That's been fun. It's been fun to do, honestly. And it really would not have happened if people didn't listen. It's all of us, guys. It's all of us.
Yeah. What? You gonna about to say something?
I was gonna jump in and say another thing. I guess it wasn't the first thing that came to mind, but I really would be not truthful if I also brought up that like just the support we get on Patreon. It makes it possible for me to afford to not have a day job, that and the business stuff that I do. And it's letting me follow my dreams.
This is not a shame thing. This is I want to. If anybody is a Patreon supporter of any of the podcasts, would you just raise your hand at any level? Like, you guys have literally fed my children. Yeah. I swear to God, you have literally fed my children, because last year was a drecky year, and things got bad around Christmas, and like literally said I wouldn't, but I did it anyway. Pulled money from the Patreon and like went shopping. So thank you guys. That was super legit and honestly helped out.
I've got one more thing to add to the what makes it worth it though, is getting to share our passion for the game and the world with you.
Yeah.
Really, I think that's the biggest thing. And well, I've got a channel Tinner here for a minute, and to be able to say that we have to teach you how to play it right, because that would be a Tinner answer.
More questions?
Wait, where does this Dex T-shirt go? Sorry.
Yeah, I saw the Bull T-shirt first.
Thank you. Yes, I'm supporting Bull. My name's Dan. I've been running this game on and off since 1991. I just wanted to know if you guys want to share the most smack my head moments your characters have ever done to you when you're running the game. I'm about ready to throw this GM screen at you and walk out the door because you can't really be serious.
Oh, I do actual plays, which means I would embarrass people.
That sounds all the more reason.
I'm gonna think about it. I want to hear somebody else's answer first.
I think for me, one of the moments is I love Ken so much. He plays Kenji, and he's great, and I love playing with him. But there was one session where he was like, "I've been looking up these Technomancer rules on the forums, and this is what these guys say I should be able to do." Like, no, I can't let you do that.
It's like every 5th episode of your actual play.
There was one in particular. I think they suggested that I label it "Damn it, Cliff," because that was the response every time I would shoot down one of the crazy. I don't know where these forums are that he's getting these strange ideas. But yeah. But okay.
It's the Damn it, Cliff forum. You just give them the stock Lion King answer. Those forums are beyond our borders. Let's never go there.
Down here. What was the question again? A facepalm moment that your players have given you.
Okay. I can't say. It happened recently, with Shadowrun specifically. It happened actually on air, it's in and it happened like two times. So it's like right there back to back, and it'll probably come out in like 2-3 weeks. So.
Do we hear your palm?
There is actually like a mic palm, like my head hits the yeah. So, I'm sorry. I would love to tell you, but there were a couple, and I could, So,
Opty, Tim.
I don't have I guess mine are more like thematic, right? So when I could give the characters an opportunity to do something good, like I was like, man, you find a baby and it needs help, and Mr. Pink goes like, I think maybe I could find somebody that would pay me to shoot it. Like my games are supposed to make you better people, and you're using it as wish fulfillment, and your wish fulfillment is killing babies. You're a monster.
I have long given up the idea that the characters in my actual play campaign are heroes of any kind.
So another thing that makes me it's not even like a frustration and they're doing it right. It's like my rigger at my table, Deadeye, he's one of my best friends, but every damn time he's like, I have a drone for that. And it's like, oh, you got to break into, the young elven technologist headquarters. He's like, cool. I just take this drone that's about the size of one of these critical glitch dice that they can't even, and it's also stealth, and I put it into the vent and I see what else is going on. Oh, I just wait till they're all sleeping. We go in and kill them all. And it's like I guess that's pretty Shadowrun, but I want you guys to take longer than 5 seconds to run the adventure. And he just breaks it all the time, and I'm just not quick enough on my feet to know all the rules about how to stop it. And I don't want to throw an EM pulse in every single living room, and so I just, when my characters are better at Shadowrun than I am, that's That's it.
Just a heads up, if there's micro drones in the world, I'm pretty sure there's like little netting on things on ventilation so they don't get in.
It's a micro mosquito net.
Electrified.
Electrified with atomic bolts of power that only affect your drones.
If they're that small, you anti-drone geckos and just like suck
Drone geckos.
Remember in Running Wild, we introduced those falcons that'll snatch drones out?
State of the art 2079 drone geckos that just exist just to catch that Drek. Right?
What about Tim?
Thank you for that question. That's happening, by the way. That will happen.
What size you want?
So for mine, it would have to be. This goes back a couple years to running some organized play submissions, and having a table that spent the entire game trying to kill the Johnson, and couldn't understand why they couldn't kill Lin Yao Chang. And repeatedly, like, we do this, and he just moves. And they just couldn't understand that they were way outclassed and they really shouldn't try and they should just take the job or walk away. But they said it were setting up sniper nests to meet him at every scene. They were going through the job, but at every possible scene they tried to bait him to kill him.
Sounds like your runners have too much money.
Mr. Pink tried to challenge Lin Yao Chang, so he lost his hand. I like him as a character.
Do you have a story you want to share, Rusty?
I do. I'm gonna need it. I'll use it. Food fight, right? The classic. We need a quick session, like first of the game. Everybody made their characters. We want a quick fight, and this was back in SR3. We were experimenting with minis, so we had exact like meters set up, and the robbery starts. And the big dude with the bulging muscles and the shotgun is like, hey, the robbery starts, right? And my player was like, I rush him, and he couldn't quite reach him. He was like 3 meters away from the dude with the huge muscles and the shotgun, and he got blasted because that's what shotguns are for. And and it's food fight, so you're in kind of street clothes. And he was like, I only have an armor jacket. Like that was like his only outfit. So I was like, I don't wear the armor jacket into the store because it's big, bulky armor. He had like intimidation bonus or whatever. So he was like no armor, flechette, normal shotgun, buckshot round, point blank-ish. And then he got mad that it hurt him. and I was like, dude, it's a shotgun, you know. And it was just fun. The petulance of I don't think the shotgun would be that bad was the exact quote. And I was like, dude, there's not much I can do there.
Answer that I had.
But yeah, so that was mine, was the shotgun.
Mine was it was early on when I started GMing. I had a player who was really into. You ever had that player who knows who either does know or thinks they know a lot about either martial arts or anatomy or something like that, and so they're you're playing the game and it's like, okay, I want to hit the guy, I want to hit him right in the solar plex, right? And so you got that, and so this guy would always be doing that, telling me exactly pinpoint. I'm just like, roll, okay, that's great, just roll unarmed. Oh, you hit him. And that just annoyed the crap out of me. But I love this question, and I think so. With our actual play that we're doing, we're planning on doing a monthly. I'm calling it a cast party, where we all get together and talk about that month's episode. It'll be live streamed, and I think I'm going to add a segment to that where I tell everybody what you guys did. That was a facepalm moment for me.
So
I will do my best to provide some material for that.
Did everybody get a chance to answer?
I think so.
I'm going to take over real quick.
Yeah.
We got like 15 minutes left, and we could keep doing this, and which I'm totally fine with because this is cool, or we could do some of the stuff that we had planned, which I don't even know what it is. Rap Battle was on the list in case nothing else panned out, and so I'm definitely down with that.
Well, if you guys are okay with it, I was kind of thinking I might like to perform a song.
Yes!
Yes, absolutely.
I keep going back and forth, and like that, nobody wants me to perform a song. I'm not going to do it.
You know who kept telling him, yes, we definitely want that? It was me.
Yeah, it was.
And I will apologize if I screw up or my voice goes out because I've been running games in a noisy room for a while before I came here. So,
while he's grabbing his stuff, just so you guys know, the only reason Opty and I didn't do any Flight of the Conchords for you is that we know different versions of Hippopotamus versus the Rhinoceros. If we had the same version on our various... yeah. What? Rhinoceros, not because I'm fat, because I have birds on my back, because I'm horny. I'm horny. On the mic like a before me, can't ignore me. In the bedroom, the gentlemen, the ladies come before me. Check the yellow pages. A registered rhymologist. Now I'm passing over the mic to the hippopotamus.
My name is Hippopotamus. My lyrics are bottomless.
They're
killing time for you.
No, that's I can't follow that.
Please, Cliff. Please do it.
Look,
Who wants Cliff? Who wants Cliff?
Cliff.
Can you do me a favor, just for my ego, and chant Prism Shard? I've never heard that before.
Prism Shard. Prism Shard. Prism Shard.
All right, I got to do a quick sound check first, so it's not too quiet or too loud, or it might be anyway. But I'm gonna reduce the chance there. So,
hey, Cliff. One thing you know, people outside the room probably heard "prison shower" being chanted just now.
I'm okay with that too.
Taste the rainbow. Whatever. However it hits you best.
Well, this is a punk rock song, and you've probably heard it before. I did this as a tribute to Stephen A. Tinner. His tagline is kind of "I do what I want." One of the characters he talked about a lot was Johnny Banger, a rocker Shadowrunner. Tim got me a copy of his character sheet, so I was able to, while I was working on the lyrics, kind of work some of the stuff in. This is a very Shadowrun punk rock song. So, a quick sound check here. Check. I think this will do. Not too loud?
No, perfect. Good.
Punk, do it.
I promise you stop.
Nice. All right, I will start it then.
You say watch your back, but you just worry about your own, chummer. Tell me to shoot straight. Me and them smart guns never let me down. Want me to conserve me ammo? Frag that! Got more bullets than the Sprawls got sinless. And I never cut a deal with a dragon, cause they know not to mess with me. Don't matter what the pips on the dice say, you can shake 'em all day. They're just sound effects to me. Tell you how I roll, I do what I want. Yeah, that's right. Whoa! Mr. Johnson gives me a call. You know it's gonna be a loud night. Won't see me wearing no black trench coat. Big mohawk all the way. Coppers try to roll up on me. Gonna be bringing a high throat response team. Ain't nothing I'm afraid to take on. I know the best chummers in the world got my back. Don't matter what the pips on the dice say, you can shake 'em all day. They're just sound effects to me. You know how I roll, I do what I want. Yeah! Who wants old Johnny here to give you a guitar solo? Well, it's pre-recorded so you can get it anyway, fraggers. No matter what the pips on the dice say, you can shake 'em all day. They're just sound effects to me. You know how I roll. I do what I want. Yeah, say with me. We do what we want. Yeah, I do what I want. And this is where the music fades out. So we do what we want.
That was
the
amazing.
best thing ever.
That was seriously good. I don't know. Cliff was telling us he wasn't going to do this. That was amazing. I loved it. By the way, I am going to Tyler. You got it. I'm going to cap out the when that first time he screamed. I'm gonna. And there's a GIF of that going to go around the internet.
That's gonna be my new ringtone.
Awesome.
That was the thing. I think that specific part, like Tim said, you just think like Billy Idol. Like, okay, the Billy Idol scream. I know I didn't actually do Billy Idol justice there, but that's what I was trying to do.
So that's what Cliff was gonna do, and then Bobby did Ask Bobby.
Yeah.
And then Rusty talked about elves. Gratuitously.
Give the people what they want.
Lee, did you have any special fairy dust that you wanted to sprinkle on everyone?
All right.
No.
Yeah, I'll add some fairy dust in post.
Yes.
Oh,
Of course he does. He
Lee-
wants
Lee
me
is-
to edit the episodes.
Lee is
it's not
the
working.
most attractive podcaster.
Yeah, Mark thinks you're dreamy.
Just saying.
Hugs and kisses.
Now, I was going to do
A
a
tarot
tarot
reading, yeah.
if anyone is interested in doing that. But I don't know how interesting that would be for everyone else who's not getting their tarot read. I just didn't know what else to do. And I got this fancy new tarot deck. Is anybody cool with that? Well, let me ask, would everybody else be cool watching someone else get their tarot read? Is that cool? Okay, because this will be my first time. All right. Yeah, Goonies. Never say die. All right.
Let's hear.
Lee, I'm gonna need to be right there with you. So bring your chair up right here.
And what's your name? Get over the microphone. Okay.
Scott.
This is Scott.
Give him the wireless one. There you go. Okay, there you go. Wait for Opty.
Good job.
Okay. Yeah.
Goonies never die.
Yeah.
And then after the tarot reading, we can give away swag, and then we can just hang out. Is that cool?
Well, unless somebody
I don't know
else
if there's
has the
something
room
else
at
booked
10
here
o'clock,
afterwards.
So we don't know that.
We do what we want? Is that? That doesn't fly at Gen Con? Okay. Okay, all right. Can you just hold this for me like this?
Sure. Can you be his mic stand?
Oh, hey, look at that.
No.
They took her jobs.
Can you pretend like you're one of those poor elves and just do what I ask you to do?
Gecko drone. Dobby has shoes now.
All right. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to just take out. Stop.
Whoa.
Stop.
I'm scared of the one
ruining
sticking out.
my key is getting unbalanced. My chakras are not aligned.
We do have
my
a group.
Feng shui is
Someone else has the room at 10.
Don't do it unless you shake the deck.
Well, I was gonna try to do that.
There's a format.
Don't do it like I did.
I can't pretend.
You're
We
not a
have-
real wizard. Opty.
Opty is.
Okay, guy, we have
6
Okay,
minutes.
Let me ask this. Okay, sorry. All right.
Just-
I'll take care of it. I'll do my. There's the fine print for this part is that if anyone is offended about me not knowing how to do tarot and doing it anyway in character as someone who does, now's the time to speak up. And
I think Kevin already did that.
No. And honest to God, or ghost, or whatever, tarot deities. We do not want to offend anybody. So this is purely.
We have -4 minutes. So
That can't 4 minutes. No, we have
6 minutes.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
You did your due diligence. Thank you.
Ready? I'm gonna align my deck. Ready? Stop! Just be quiet. Stop mocking mocking me.
Messing with the spirits.
I'm doing this right. Stick out your right hand. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think of darkness inside of you that just wants to escape. And I want you to let it flow through your hand and into the tarot. That darkness represents all of the stuff. And I want you to let it flow back from the tarot into the inky blackness of your heart. And let it cycle like that until it feels right to say, okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Now I'm going to do this, and you just tell me when to stop.
When to stop.
All right. I'm going to do a simple 3-card read. First card is going to represent your past. Second card is going to represent your future. I mean your present, because that comes before the... Don't do this! Don't do this! What is this?
That's me trying to save everyone.
You were... Okay. In case you missed it, red just came and aligned my chakras. Okay. And the third card is going to be your future. You ready? I'm already sad for you because that's your past.
That's about right.
All right. So the 3 of Cups is in the correct position. That means it's not upside down because that would make it the opposite. And the 3 of Cups, if you can't see it, is 3 hot chicks doing hot chicky stuff. Well, this is not I didn't draw this. I'm just reading the cards, Rusty. And there's this kind of like dwarf dude that's like, are you seeing this? Right? And the 3 of Cups traditionally represents an overflowing of love and joy and celebration. So I hate to break it to you, but that part of your life is over.
Bye.
The cups traditionally represent feelings. And so, again, I'm really sorry because that looked like a really cool past.
It was.
Your present is the Queen of Batons. And batons has to do with passion and power, ambition, sometimes creativity, maybe even career, something that you just have to do. Maybe you can't even resist it. And the Queen of Batons is not on the damn cheat sheet.
You're welcome.
I don't know how that skipped. Hold on, I'll fix this.
My present is nowhere on the cheat sheet. I'm so happy about this.
Kevin misaligned my chakra. But this is upside down. So it doesn't really mean what it was supposed to mean in the first place. Which means the Queen of Batons, we're going to say that, like, you're going to take that stick that the baton represents and you're going to hit the world until it gives you your passion. Unfortunately, your future is the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man traditionally represents suspension and meditation, voluntary vulnerability, and a sudden epiphany. So your future holds something like you're going to rethink your life and figure out you've been doing it all wrong.
I could have told you that already. Also,
the Hanged Man is one of the inspirations for the story I wrote in the Tarot Anthology, so it might be telling you to like go pick that up and read it because it's awesome. I'm sorry if I ruined your life.
Thank you. That was great, Opty. Scott, thank you, Scott.
Kevin is never going to speak to me ever again.
I'm gonna go burn this.
All right.
So I think that's all we have time for officially.
Oh, if anybody wants swag, just come up real quick.
Yeah,
and
we've
just
got stuff.
grab
I've got some
swag.
stickers.
These are temporary tattoos
left.
of Seattle gangs. So that's awesome.
By the way, none of this technology here is
we
swag.
have Jackal's Lantern matchbooks, which are awesome. If you want a T-shirt from the Neo-Anarchist podcast, I have those to give away, but I have a limited number. And if you like Shadowrun Crossfire, there's Shadowrun Crossfire cards of Opty and a mission. So just grab whatever you want and have fun. Oh,
if anybody did not get a T-shirt, who wants one, and we still have T-shirts, and we don't run out.
Sure.
Then you can walk around and pretend and look like you asked a question.
Last question. Has anybody ever heard of the fragging unicorns? Okay. Also have some Black Star patches.